Okay, here we go. You guys should be seeing me pretty clear here, hopefully. Oh, I got sound coming through over here. I'm going to turn it down. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. So, how's everyone doing today? I can see some of these. You see in the corner there, comments coming through.
Everyone?
Sorry.
Is that everybody watching?
These are people commenting now on YouTube. So we've got people watching today on YouTube. We got Facebook. We got Twitch, and we got Periscope. So anyone on any one of these platforms, just hit us with a comment, and we'll see what we got to. Oh, got echo coming through. I'm going to fix that.
Do people know where we are? That it's from your secret hideaway?
That it's in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them that now in a second. So tell them about yourself, Matt, while I'm getting the speaker working a little bit better.
It went off.
No, I'm just playing with the computer here.
So am I still talking to everybody here?
Yep.
But My name is Matt. I run the travel website nomadicmatt.com, and I teach people how to travel the world on a budget. I'm just a cheap guy, so I like to share my cheapness with the world and hopefully inspire others to travel by telling them cool stories and showing them that travel does not have to be that expensive. I spend more money here in New York in like 3 days than I will probably 2 weeks in Bangkok. So, yeah, that's me. I'm sure Benny has some questions for me, and you'll have questions for me, but Benny's moved off camera. I can't really see what's going on because he's turned the screen off, so I'm just imagining the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
All right. So, I got James is in the chat and he's kind of helping moderate and keeping things flowing. So he says that first question was from Sarah Fazur, if I'm saying that right. And she says, what has been your best and worst couchsurfing experience?
I have many couchsurfing experiences. My worst couchsurfing experience was in Germany. It was very last minute. I think I was in Cologne. Or was it in Hamburg? No, I was in Hamburg. And I went and stayed at this girl's place.
Mm-hmm.
And she was brand new to couchsurfing, so I was like, oh, someone to give reviews to.
Yeah. And
so she shows me to the couch, and she's like, okay. And I was like, cool. Like, I was super tired off a flight. I was like, I think I'm gonna take a nap. Are there sheets or pillows or anything? She goes, don't you bring that yourself?
Oh.
I was like, no, but do you at least have a pillow? She's like, no. And very German about it. No.
So she thought couchsurfing was literally just, here's a couch, figure it out. Yeah,
and so what happened was she let me borrow her roommate's pillow because she was away, but there were no sheets. Now it's October in a drafty old building in Hamburg, so it was quite cold. So I slept in like a sweater and a jacket, and then I took a shower like when I got in, and the next morning I was leaving. I only needed this one night for anyways, but so I took a shower in the morning, and she's banging on the door. What are you doing? Wait, what's wrong? Hello? What? You're taking a shower? Yeah, you took one last night. Hot water, costs money or something. I was like, okay, I'll be out in a second. And
wow.
I was like, it's not like she has a tank. We're in Germany, out of all places.
I know. That's a weird place to be running out of hot water.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like couchsurfing, you can have a lot of very random, weird experiences.
Yeah.
But, what are you doing for accommodation tonight here in New York?
Oh, and I had one older couple in Athens. Like, they were a little weird. They were just odd. Oh, and then the weird guy in Iceland who there was like he just had a bunch of people going, but he cracked the dirtiest jokes. And I think the girls who were like there were like 6 people staying in this place.
Wow.
And the girls got kind of weirded out by it. But my best couchsurfing experience is. Oh no, my other worst one is this guy.
Oh my God! Can we have some positive experiences here, man? You're all downers. I want to be encouraging people here.
I was gonna say you were my worst experience.
Oh, I was his worst, yeah.
No,
because
I'm staying with Benny tonight.
he's my couch surfer on this couch,
yeah.
And I do provide pillows and blankets.
And hot water.
And hot water is right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I got an inflatable mattress, so he's not actually staying on the couch.
Yeah. It's a very comfy inflatable mattress, actually.
Yeah, I've stayed on it myself. I've used it, like I brought it away and I've stayed in other places on it. So yeah, it's great because New York, if you were to stay in hotels and like I know you will be staying at an Airbnb while you're speaking at the New York Times Travel Trade Show this weekend, but in general you can stay in New York and pay $0 if you're
couchsurfing. I assume that when I move here and turn on my couchsurfing, it's gonna light up like no tomorrow. Because I remember when I hosted people here in the city, I would get like 30 requests a day because everybody's just like, I need a place to stay, I need a place to stay, I need a place to stay. Yeah. Do you get requests or are you even active on it now?
What I do these days is I don't leave it active. Whoops.
Hey, come on, get in the video.
Yeah, sorry, I'm changing settings and I shouldn't be doing that.
No, just leave it as is.
Okay, keep talking for a second. I'm sorry.
God, we have the worst technical difficulties.
I know I do.
This is the second time Benny has attempted to have me do a chat video, like talking about travel. And the first time we filmed at the YouTube space, and I was there for like an hour and a half while he's helping set up and everything. And then the video became unusable. So now we're doing this live chat, and apparently technical difficulties again.
Yeah, I know.
But Benny seems to have great luck when I'm not here, so it pretty much must be me. This is why I don't do video, guys, because writing is a lot easier. No technical. Get a typewriter, pluck away, boom.
Okay, so sorry, I was just seeing the chat. So, what questions have we got coming in?
Lutalika, do I have any tips for Amsterdam? Yeah, I have a ton of tips for Amsterdam.
Didn't you write something about Amsterdam again recently? You like updated it or something?
Yeah, I actually have a whole. Oh, my eyes are so bigger now. I have a. Did you change the?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Part of the technical problems, but now people could see in wider view.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have a whole guidebook to Amsterdam. I used to live there. I run tours there. So I have a lot of tips. If you could be more specific on the types of tips you want.
Yeah, look, could you get back, or Lutalika, if you could get back to us on what kind of things do you like to do? Because asking, what are your best tips for Amsterdam? Like if you imagine someone asked you, what are your best tips for your city? You don't really know. Do they want to be a tourist? Do they want to?
Do you want food tips? Do you want drinking tips?
Drinking.
Yeah.
So get back to us on specifically what you'd like to know. Next question is from Mariana. She says, I work online as a teacher, and I'd love to live abroad, but I'm afraid of internet connections. What are your thoughts? So maybe she teaches via Skype, for instance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Europe, Southeast Asia, even like Colombia, Chile. Look for digital nomad hotspots, and you'll always find good internet because they don't go anywhere where there's no internet.
Yeah. And
Thailand, Singapore. I mean, heck, I found great internet in Cambodia, Philippines, Australia is kind of bump. I want to go to Australia for that. But Chile, Colombia, anywhere in Europe.
I mean, if the kind of teaching that you do can be audio, if you can decide for the month or two you're somewhere, you would do audio and no video, you could make it work very well off a 3G connection.
Yeah.
And a lot of places for very cheap, for $20 a month or something, you'll get unlimited 3G.
Yeah.
So I made that work when I lived in the Philippines. I was somewhere where I could not actually get broadband or Wi-Fi, and I worked entirely off 3G for a whole month. So yeah, that's another option. Okay, so I just while I see the comments coming up here, I could see Anne says, "Have you ever been to Egypt?"
I have not been to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to go.
Yeah.
I'm a big history buff. I used to read a lot about the ancient Egyptians when I was in college, former history teacher. So I would love to go see the pyramids and all that jazz.
Yeah, I've been to Egypt. You can see some videos I made on my channel about it. And for me, it was about getting to know the local Egyptians.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of get out of Cairo and explore sides of the Nile and so on. So yeah, I've got some tips on Egypt that you can check out. Okay, so Sarah's saying, what countries did you find easiest to travel? What countries would you recommend that everyone should visit at least once?
Easiest countries to travel are usually assuming just anywhere. Australia is really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Europe itself as a continent is easy because it's so massively connected through train and bus connections. Southeast Asia is another region in the world that's really easy to get around and just built for travelers. A country everyone should visit at least once. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Mm.
I want to name you like 10 right now.
Yeah.
I'll go with Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The people are great. The food is great. The culture is really cool, and it's just like a fascinating place. Japan.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's see. Murillo says, did you have any problems with languages that you don't speak while you're traveling, or is it always comfortable to get by with English?
Well, unlike Benny, it takes me at least 3.5 months to become fluent.
That's right.
I'm a pretty slow learner. Sometimes even 4.
Wow, 4.
You can pretty much get by through most of the places in the world. You can get by in English. Most people have an exposure to the basics of it nowadays, thanks to globalization. So they'll most likely, wherever you're going, unless you're getting really far off the beaten path, understand sort of your pidgin English. I went to the Ukraine and it was very difficult because they don't have a lot of exposure to tourists or English, so there's not a lot of English there. Same if you go to like the stands or maybe rural parts of South America, probably places in Africa. There's not a lot of widespread English spoken there. Anywhere on the tourist trail is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to remember, everybody's there. They want to help you. They want to make it work. You just have to give them the opportunity to do so. So pantomime. I went like choo-choo for a train driver in Ukraine, and he figured out where I needed to go. I had a friend cluck chicken in Laos. Pointing at stuff, making sounds. I mean, most of human communication is nonverbal anyway.
That's right.
So, if you look frustrated or trying to point to something, you can make it work.
No, it's absolutely true. And even when I've arrived in a place that I don't speak the language yet, when I've tried to just gesture my way into it, then I could do a lot those first few days without even knowing any words yet. So
like if you're hungry, you can be like, people are like, you want food.
Yeah. So we got an update for the Amsterdam question. They wanted to know cheap places to stay or eat.
All right, Amsterdam. My favorite 2 hostels are St. Christopher's and Flying Pig. Though Flying Pig is not one of the cheapest. The Meeting Point is one of the cheapest. That's a cool hostel.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I was there, a lot of people smoked a lot of weed.
In Amsterdam, no.
Yeah, but it's pretty inexpensive.
No, I've never heard of that. That's good.
There's a new one that just opened. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. So it's like Nomads. Never mind. Cheap place to eat. Pancakes with the exclamation point at the end. Amazing Dutch pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Burger Bar if you like burgers is awesome.
I'm always a fan of Mao's.
Mao's is great.
Mm-hmm.
Walk to Walk is great. Cafe de Jardin. It's on one of the canals. That's really cool. Moeders, which is Dutch for mothers, is a really traditional Dutch place. That's sort of mid-range Dutch food.
Yeah, those are some good tips. All right. Jinger Chanel says, if you were living in a country where you were not able to save money because of hyperinflation, what would you do to travel abroad?
Oh, I would like to know what country you live in right now.
Yeah, hyperinflation. I mean, if they can't afford to live it, like if they save a little bit of money, then maybe their currency is super strong that little bit will actually go a long way in other countries.
Let me know where you live, and then we'll answer the question.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Pamela Scott. Do you know of any opportunities to work for room and meals in Chiang Mai? She's asking for her son.
I don't know off the top of my head, but the best place to find that out would be helpx.net or workaway.info. Those two websites sort of list all like really good jobs, like sort of work for your room and board kind of jobs.
Okay.
So I would look at those two websites.
All right. We got a reply that the person's country with the hyperinflation was Venezuela.
Oh yeah, you really got nothing going on.
It's difficult, but there are other countries in Latin America that can be visited. I mean, you may not be able to go.
Well, Venezuela's got a whole host of issues right now. My advice to you would be trying to leave Venezuela and go to Colombia. I know that's like shitty advice, but I mean, I have a lot of Venezuelan friends, so I get fed a lot of information about the current state of the country, and from what I hear, it's not really good, and it's not going to get better. So like, and I mean, even if you were like from Zimbabwe, right, you could probably go to, you know, maybe Mozambique or something. Like that's another country with hyperinflation.
Okay.
Currency inflation, but like, yeah, I mean, look at what happened to Argentina. You know, once hyperinflation, it really hits a currency. I mean, it really becomes only worth something within the actual place. Nobody outside that country wants that money.
Right.
And moreover, like, you know, you really need a good hard currency like the USD, and then you have to deal with the whole black market issue.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, like,
yeah, it's tricky.
It's just a bad situation all around.
I mean, one thing they could do is they could try to find work online, like the previous person who was teaching via the internet, and earn in dollars that way. That's one way to kind of build up the money.
Right. Maybe if you can find like a stable internet connection, you can use that italki website and help teach people Spanish. And And then you'll learn in USD, and then that could be something.
Okay.
I don't know how regulated the internet is in Venezuela.
Yeah, but they'd be at least able to do voice calls. Okay, so Chris from Actual Fluency says, are there any expensive experiences, like food or anything like that, that were totally worth it?
Oh yeah, I will spend...
Facebook comments up.
Like, I'm going to sleep here for free tonight, but I will definitely go have, like, incredible sushi. Expensive meals that were totally worth it. I had this crazy expensive meal in Vegas. I had really expensive sushi in Japan. Totally worth it. I went to one of like the best restaurants in the world in Spain. It was in not Granada, Costa Brava, and that was like hundreds and hundreds of euros. I didn't even want to look at the bill. But food, I'll spend the money. Give me those Michelin stars all day long.
Yeah, and you and I, we had a blast in Vegas, and that would have been super expensive.
Yeah.
But it was definitely worth it. It's the kind of thing that you would only really like have that kind of big splash once or twice a year, depending on where you're going and what it's going to cost. But
I'll splash out for good food, without a question.
Okay.
I'll save all my money by sleeping on someone's inflatable bed and then spend it all on food and drink.
Yeah, that's right. Your spending money here in New York is higher as a result of that, because you don't have to worry about the accommodation. All right. Anne says, how has traveling changed you?
It's made me a less awkward person, or maybe a more awkward person. Either way, it's made me someone who really doesn't care about what people think about my awkwardness.
That's a good way of thinking of it. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same for me. I've become more comfortable because you get forced out of your shell.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and meet people. You know.
You get comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
Because you have to be.
Yeah. Okay. Heavy Rescue says, "What are your tips for cheap flights from the US?" So how would you get your cheapest flights?
Well, I have a lovely blog post on this.
Mm-hmm.
Points and miles are very important.
Yeah.
You know, get those credit cards that earn you airline points so you can get free flights. Sign up bonus is like 50, 60,000 points, and that's a round trip flight right there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, creative spending. So you can multiply the miles per dollar earned. Be flexible with your time or your destination. If you have to go somewhere in February, be flexible where you go. If you have to go to France, be flexible when you go.
Yeah.
Because if you aren't flexible, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
And watch for deals. There's always flight deals around. You know, especially now that WOW and Norwegian are operating in the U.S., they have really, really lowered the flights to Europe, and now you can go to Europe for like $400, $500 round trip.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. You gotta like stop in Iceland on the way or something.
Yeah, well, Norwegian now will start going through Dublin, and
nice.
they're going to they go right to Copenhagen and Oslo, and onward from Oslo you can go right to Bangkok too.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the website theflightdeal.com. That's what I use to keep alert of all like the good